Hello everyone, welcome back. So, a bit of an exciting day. FTR3 has finally made it to the hoist. It's been a bit of a long time coming, as you know. We've had it hiding away in the back of the workshop while all the focus has been on the super cheap auto Falcon, but we've got this car to a stage now that we're waiting on a period correct airbox and a few other bits and pieces. So with everything done pretty well that we can do to date, we thought we'd get FTR3 on the hoist and have a bit of a look and start to get this one underway. So a bit of an exciting time. I'll run through with you now what we've got planned for the car, and you'll see by the end of the video there's a lot to do. So we've had a lot of new followers on the page since we announced months ago that we had this car. So just to quickly update everyone so everyone's on the same page, this car's known as FTR3. It's a Glen Seton racing Falcon, raced as an AU. It was debuted at Bathurst in 2000 and it was driven by Neil Crompton and Glen Seton. Glen Seton went on to race it in 2001, 2002, and then the car was sold to Pro Drive Racing when Glen Seton sold his team, and David Bernard raced it as an AU in 2003. So this car never raced as a BA. It was converted as a ride car to BA specification after its racing life had finished. Now, if you have a look here, I've got the original logbook which came back with the car, which is invaluable, and you'll see there, that's a picture of the car when it was brand new at a pre-Bathurst shakedown in 2000. And you'll see on the logbook there's pages and pages of entries, but you'll see there, first entries Bathurst in the year 2000. So if you're a devoted Ford fan, you would remember that this car was involved in a pretty controversial incident in the race. It's probably one of Glen Seton's best opportunities to win the race. I'll share it with you now, but yeah, it's quite an emotional incident which gets fans divided on what was right or wrong 25 or nearly 25 years later. So this is FTR3 in action.
Morning, Mark Scaife, what lies ahead in terms of drivers on the road. The Shell Championship Series at stake for him, and maybe if he can claw his way further forward, a Bathurst victory as well.
This is a shot from Neil Crompton's car, looking back at Scaife, headlights on, trying to find a way past the FTR Falcon. Cameron McLean still our race leader, 1.2 seconds in front of Stephen Richards, I should say, in the Kmart Commodore. John Bow in the Caterpillar Ford, threading through the traffic. Oh, Crompton gets squeezed on the curb as he tries to find a way inside the big cab Commodore. He's managed to do it, I think, without any damage, but Scaife goes with him. Crompton like a barge pole through the traffic. Look at Neil, he's finding back on the inside. I don't believe it. Oh, can you believe it? Oh no, Mark Scaife managed to hang on to it. Neil Crompton's gone.
Is the car right?
The whole front of the car has been taken off. Can you believe that? Oh, we've got a tyre rubbing here on there behind Scaife. Garth Tander at the wheel.
This is out of Murray's corner. They work up pit straight. Neil Crompton gets a good run out of there, up alongside Matthew Neal. It's a drag race up pit straight for the run to hell corner, and you can see Scaife coming with him. Crompton pulls across.
But what on earth was Matt Neal doing, making a desperate dive under brakes?
A bold late braking manoeuvre.
He's way out of contention with these cars, and he's just set off a massive accident. Matt Neal, 18th position, some 3 laps behind the race leaders. And look at this, it's crazy stuff. What on earth was he thinking?
Look at Tander, he too copped a little bit of contact there as Mark Scaife tried to take evasive action, and Neil Crompton is actually now parked on the side of the circuit there.
I just cannot believe the bad luck that Neil Crompton has in motorsport. Can you believe it? Look at this Matt Neal. I cannot believe, what was he doing?
Oh, this is the sort of thing that can decide championships. That could have been the end of the day for both.
It's hard to believe that was nearly 25 years ago. How time flies, and it still hurts as a Ford fan. So basically, the plan for this car, we believe at this stage that that's the fan favourite. We've had a lot of messages come through with Gran Turismo and all that kind of stuff, where this car was used. It was an option to race it, and the Seton Crompton combination at Bathurst, it was the last time they raced together. And from what I understand, and I'm still looking, FTR3 was the last in-house Glen Seton built car. The chassis after, from all reports, was a BHAG shell. So there's a lot of history in this car, so we'd like to obviously return it back to its roots and you know, as a piece of history, piece of motorsport history. The only issue we're going to have is when this car was converted, it was done properly. And when I say properly, they stripped everything off it and it was done top to bottom. So in the alloy restoration, if you've been following since day one, we left the inside of the car original. So purely because it was all original. So the paint and everything inside that car is as it was when it raced. This car was completely stripped. It was painted inside and out, underneath, absolutely everywhere. So the cage and everything was white when it raced. You can see there, it's all now grey. So if we're going to get it anywhere near how it raced, it all needs to be pulled out and repainted. There was a Larry bar through the middle of the screen. It's gone. You can see on the dashboard that little panel over there where it's been covered up. So it needs to be put back in. And a lot of the bar work at the back of the car has been changed as well to accommodate a back seat. So it's going to be a massive job. If you have a look in there, it might be actually easier if I shut the door and we look through the back of the car. That whole bird cage area at the back of the car is gone, where if you have a look in there, you can see it all. So that whole crossbar section and all the bar work behind the seat. If we open the door here, that's all completely gone. And it's got, you can see there, hold on for the ride of your life. So that's where a back seat was fitted up, and that's where the seat belt's mounted up. So basically, we're going to have to tear the car apart. It's going to have to be completely stripped, and we're going to need to start again. And we're going to have to find old photos and details and to get it all back to how it was. So it certainly makes the Super Cheap Auto AU look a lot easier restoration, which you wouldn't never thought I would have said that, but compared to the work this car needs. But at the end of the day, it's an iconic car. The AU Falcon, who would have thought, has become quite an iconic model. So we're really looking forward to getting into it and seeing what we can achieve. Finally, I'd love to know your feedback on what we should aim for. My thought process currently is the Alloy AU, we left a lot of the original paintwork and scuffs and marks in it because we wanted it to look like a car that had been raced. This car is obviously, we can't keep the original paint inside. We can't keep a lot of that because none of it is right, and it was all done after its racing life finished. So given its most iconic livery was 2000 Bathurst as a brand new car sitting on the grid, do we go and try and achieve that? So do we go for that brand new, untouched rotisserie restoration and start again? Like to know your feedback, or do we preserve the history that's gone on since? So yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. So love to know your feedback on that, but my thought process is we get it back to that. But yeah, love to know your thoughts. So thanks again. We'll do another video shortly. We'll get the car up in the air. We'll have a look underneath it. We'll go through some of the other running gear and that's in it and what's what, and we'll keep the content coming. The Super Cheap Falcon, once some goodies arrive for that, we'll be back into that again. We really want to get that on a track soon, so we'll share that with you, and yeah, we'll keep it coming. So any questions, comments, let us know, and look forward to sharing more with you soon. So thanks again.